About confrontation, violence?
Oh, is that the question you were asking?
Yeah.
See, that's another thing. When you talk about a revolution, most people think violence, without realizing that the real content of any kind of revolutionary thrust lies in the principles and the goals that you're striving for, not in the way you reach them. You reach them.
Hey everybody, it's Angie. I'm back sooner than before. Good to be here. Happy for everyone coming in. Um, your beautiful presence. I want to say thank you to everyone who comes in and catches the replay and sends their comments and give words of encouragement and also share insight on a piece of their story that they can relate to this story. It's much appreciated. Hey, Miss Arlene, I was just thinking of you so much. I really value and appreciate that, you was able to relate, to what I was discussing the last time. It lets me know that what I'm speaking of is it's in the direction to, help and to make sure that we have a change and become a voice for people that things happen to us in our life and they go unheard. And so I really appreciate and I value you sharing your comment with me, and that really meant a lot. And it does. You will not go unnoticed with me. No one will go unnoticed with me. Everyone will be able to be heard through my voice. Not only that, I will share with the world as far as these videos can go to to enlighten people to become better, so that we won't have this continuing on, and everyone doesn't have to experience these things if we learn and become greater. And I'm sorry that you had to experience such difficult times due to the others, due to people in their own ignorance. So Happy to have you in, Mama. Happy for everyone coming in. I really appreciate it. Today, we're going to go into the further discussion of hate speech and hate crime, because what I've noticed between the saga with Brother LaTruth and the situation that has been ongoing for years now with Brother Kevin, a lot of people, have been participating in something that is very effective negatively towards others, and we have to make that change. Miss Arlene says, "Thank you. It brings tears because I did learn that's not from no, I, Mama. Yes, I understand completely. It's very deep, and a lot of people don't necessarily understand how deep it is, and it's unfortunate because they end up playing a role in something that affects someone, and they have you want to give them the you want to give off the thought process that they don't know better, but the truth be told, they know better. They know exactly what they're doing. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to others. It's not fair. It's not okay. It's not right. It's not something that we should just let go and move on from. No, because you know what happens next? Somebody else becomes a victim of it. Somebody else after that becomes a victim of it. Most of the people that probably do these type of things have been a victim of something and become the monster. It's so many ongoing. It's a bad virus that continues and it refuses to die. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And I'm so sorry, Miss Arlene. Miss Arlene said it was real deep and it scared her to death. I really do apologize for that. The reality of things is most definitely a scary one, especially with the the way everybody has been, well, not everybody, but a lot of people, numbers of people have been playing a role in certain situations and their behaviors, and just not having a conscience to be aware of themselves and what they're participating in, and the long-term effects, the short-term effects, or any type of effects of how this, of what this is doing to someone else. And then a lot of people will say, well, they don't care, and that's fine. Don't care. If you don't care, and nobody can convince you not to care, that's totally fine. Because if it happens to you, you're gonna want somebody to care. You're gonna see how much how important it is for someone to care, right? And Miss Arlene says, and I did not blame the person. I left it alone and continued to be in control of my life. That's exactly right, Miss Arlene, because most of the time when they do things like that, they want you to lose control of self. Most people, they send out hate and they do things so that you can become what they are, and then they feel as if they have a moment of glory or a moment of aha, but that moment is temporary. And not only that, but it pushes them further into anger and frustration within themselves. You get what I'm saying? So there's no need to become somebody different. Stay yourself, stay true to yourself, stay in control of yourself, because they'll lose in the end. They've already lost to even do it in the beginning, in the first place, right? So we've been seeing a lot of accusations fly around. I know I highlighted three specific ones, as far as religion, uh, the cancer, and accusations of molestation. There's so many accusations that were placed out about LaTruth and Kevin Wesley, right? And their entire family has been in the heat of fire defending themselves for about 2 years. And Kevin has also been defending himself for even longer. you know. Arlene says exactly, because I still have the effect and I don't talk about just my family. Yes, it still has an effect, you know. It's still and a lot of people are very unaware of it, how these effects take on within somebody's mental. And mental trauma uh eventually turns into physical trauma, um, um, physical problems, just like mental problems. All of these effects that one could have on each other. So stay true to yourself and taking deep breaths, getting that personal healing, because that's what they want. They want us to suffer, you know and while they can continue to taunt and mistreat and call it jokes, or saying this is the norm, and this is who I am, and or I have a right to do this, or I don't care, or anything in the aspect of deflection. They'll say that, but um but it's not right. It's not true. It's not okay. And they had to care, because if they didn't care, they wouldn't have done it in the first place, right? So I got a couple of videos today, and we're gonna talk about a potential crime that took place here on the internet, that everybody was a witness to, and a lot of people participated on the wrong end of the stick, if I could say it that way. You got they got the short end of the stick, so I said the wrong end of the stick. Either way, some people did not play in the favor of their wisest attributes. So let's start with one video, because we have a lot of adults, right? And when it comes to these adults, they haven't been able to get this understanding or this idea. So we're gonna see what teenagers have to say about this today, and maybe this will help with getting some clarity, because it's something that we might have missed when we were young. I don't know, it's no telling. But a lot of people.
I go online, I see
A lot of people, they'll say, well, they just talking, or it's just trash talk, and it's not that big a deal, it's just pictures, it's not that big of a deal, we could just move on. But no, when there becomes an effect on somebody, whether it be mentally, physically, financially, it becomes an effect on their character, on their name, something that they will have to address over and over and over, because a numerous amount of people have this idea or misunderstanding, and they've worked to the death to try to defend themselves against certain things. You get what I'm saying? It's no longer, it's a big deal. It's a big problem. It's a major problem. So let's start with this video right here. And this is about hate speech. Let's see what teenagers have to say about hate speech.
hate speech everywhere.
Usually it's about race or religion.
And I've seen this all in social media, Facebook, YouTube.
I've definitely seen hate speech in comment sections, basically every single platform.
There's always that one racist or sexist comment that's always going to be there.
I don't think you have to go very far to find it.
I don't have a need to go digging for it.
It's everywhere.
I mean, before we even get that far in the video, they've already highlighted certain things that I've already stated, right? So let's see what else they have. Let's see.
I define hate speech as anything that's threatening or meant to hurt somebody else.
Anything you say or do that is like kind of like attacking any part of someone, whether it's like what they look like, their beliefs.
I'm not sure of like the exact definition of hate speech.
Any way you use your words to oppress or harm somebody else, it doesn't necessarily have to be a derogatory term or a slur. It could just be words that we use in our everyday sentences.
The meaning of it has become really vague, or at least really wide.
Someone is no longer just being offensive when what they're saying is marginalizing or hurting a whole community of people. For example, their religion.
There we go. Am I making sense now to the people? Am I making sense now to the people? They basically would, identifying comments, statements, things that were being made. Now, when you go to Kevin and his family's pages, there were times where people made statements that were hateful and harmful. You get what I'm saying? I know that they speak, this video is speaking directly about religion and race and things in that sort, but it was so many things that were made, even nicknames. You get what I'm saying? And it's just not even about, slurs and things in that sort. It's bashful things. You get what I'm saying? These things are hate speeches. And I think a lot of adults don't have this understanding, and that is what they're missing. That is what they're not understanding, and this is why boundaries have not been in place, obviously, because if they'd have known, or if they would have a full understanding, then they probably wouldn't have committed these actions, right? But some people do irregardless. Some people still have that idea of, oh, well, right? Okay, good.
Their race. If that's what you're going for, that's no longer just you being mean. That's hate speech.
I have definitely encountered hate speech online. I found it a lot more on social media than I have in real life.
I see it in maybe comments on YouTube videos or tweets on Twitter.
Twitter has a huge amount of hate speech. It's such an open platform for people to just type down what they think and send it off.
I definitely think YouTube is one of the places where you most see racist or like sexist comments.
I've noticed it mostly on social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube through jokes.
I tend to see it on memes or funny posts or meant to be funny posts.
And I think it's that those type of people that they'll say it over social media, but they won't say it in person because they're too afraid.
Now, they said memes and funny posts and things like that. We can all attest that this has happened as well. Everybody who was a witness to the LaTruth saga and a witness to the ongoing harassment towards Kevin Wesley over the years, all of these things that these young people are describing has actually happened to Kevin and LaTruth and his family and their families heavily by thousands of people, by numerous of content creators. We have content creators that were created throughout the time specifically on this situation, right? And yes, this has happened. Now, some things have happened for the wife, for LaTruth's wife as well. But this is what we have to understand. There's a difference between antagonizing and a response. Some people respond hurtfully, but what we can identify is Kevin has never done it to anyone. LaTruth has never done it to anyone, especially to the extreme extent of what has happened to them. I'm talking about loads, numbers, thousands of people. You would go under LaTruth's post, and there was a time where all you would see is hateful comments. Just people just hating and mistreating and mishandling, and just, just speaking down on them. Kevin Wesley has had people speak down on him so harshly. You get what I'm saying? Just continuously. And it just does not seemed like it just was not going to end. And now there's coincidentally, I like to say. It's just my personal opinion and observation that certain things have stopped. And I think the reasoning why is because both of these brothers, not too many times, but as of recently, have made at least one statement about at least the police getting involved, or made a statement about, pressing any form of charges. So, a lot of things have ceased. It seems like it's come to a halt, right? And they say, well, the saga is over and they're parenting, and I wish them well, co-parenting, and I think that's a beautiful thing. But what we cannot do, what we have to understand in this world that we live in, when you break glass, there is no way to fix it to where it returns to how it was originally before it was broken. The damage has been done. So thus, it is yet and still a potential crime, right?
And they don't own up to having that kind of ideology.
I don't think it's a joke to me. If it's racist, then they post it to be racist because that's what they're thinking about.
Some close friends of mine from middle school actually created a private Instagram account, and they used it to post racist, ableist, sexist, xenophobic pictures.
Last year,
Kevin Wesley has a troll page that is taunting him with fake pictures and videos of Callie talking about him in a very homosexual manner. Things like this has happened even with Brother LaTruth, where they made fun of his looks because of him being extremely slim, which was due to him having his cancer treatment and everything like that. Making fun of his looks, calling him Little Bill and things in that sort. All terms that were used originally from his wife. And everyone went on to use that to continue to taunt him with. Callie has made terms and said things and done things that other people were able to use to taunt Kevin with. These things have come from an original source. The original sources were the ones that brought out the accusations, right? So here we are.
One created an extremely anti-Semitic Instagram account, and it was always so personal and so targeted. And I wish that I could say that was the last time that something like that had happened at our school, but it isn't.
It made me kind of question my place and like where I belong in this school, because it's supposed to be our sanctuary space, and students within this very building in the same classrooms as me are posting photos that dehumanize me. It was hurtful.
I think that people are posting hate speech online because, for the first part, it's easier for people to talk through a screen.
It's almost like a sheet in front of you where you can cover your face, but sound still goes through. So people can say whatever they want and kind of get away with it.
I do think that xenophobia is one factor to why people use hate speech.
Part of it is just to get a reaction, or part of it is just to get attention.
The people who put these types of posts on media, they seem to be going through something themselves.
It's maybe because of their past, or they've been hurt before and they want to hurt others to make them feel better about themselves.
I've never seen someone post hate speech being a friendly person who is just trying to say their opinion. I think the hate speech is like put out there just to target a certain group.
It's such a large platform that so many people could see that it's really easy to get your message across. And people are going to read it because it's on social media.
So when I see something on my timeline, I go out of my way to report it. I go out of my way to stop that because I know somebody else isn't going to take it the same way that I do.
How you feel like when somebody's talking like some negative things about you, that it hurts like your feelings.
Yeah, I feel a sort of social responsibility. We all should be lifting each other up rather than putting each other down.
When I see some people posting racist things online, I just don't do nothing.
Now, they're saying that we should lift each other up, right? So even if they felt as if these men were wrong about something, wouldn't it have been more effective if it was in the direction of let's try to figure out ways to communicate and change perspectives? You know, you would expect certain things from adults. You get what I'm saying? But what I have learned from this situation is most people aren't necessarily mentally adults. They give me the idea of children in adult-sized bodies with adult-sized ages. You get what I'm saying? Because adults should be able to carry themselves in a different manner that doesn't affect one another. You know, life already has its challenges of its own. And the fact that we have to get online and feel like we're in middle school or high school, where we have to be careful with how we offend somebody, because they'll turn around and they'll have a gang of people just start to mistreat and mishandle and take our pictures and create them into different things, and make rumors and spread them around so other people can look at us weirdly and mistreat us. When do we grow up mentally to handle things as adults and realize that everything is not entertainment and everything is not funny, especially when there's a specific party that is being affected by the mistreatment?
Thinking about it, because I feel like I ask myself, what can I do to stop this?
I can't really do anything about it. Kind of just have to ignore it.
It's really hurtful to the other person. I don't think they realize it. It really demoralizes them and lowers their self-esteem.
I would report hate speech when I see it.
When we see these posts on our timelines or on our Instagrams and our feeds, Twitter, Snapchat, even group chats, we feel the need to speak out. And when we speak out, we give those people who hurt us that attention that they always craved.
I feel like if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it.
Everyone always argues with these people, and I do too. But
I think people are free to express what they have to say, but I don't think it should be at the cost of putting somebody else down.
There you have it with that video, you guys. I hope that everyone gets a message from that, because those are our teenagers at the time that spoke on that. And if children can understand the difference between freedom of speech, opinions and ideas, and common understanding, and hate speech, then us as adults, we should really be, we should be really in a moment of shame, because a lot of people on the internet do not carry that level of intelligence. A lot of people on the internet do not act as if they understand what that is or what it means to behave in a manner where you don't need an adult, or you don't need to be corrected, or you don't have to have someone have to report you to some authority because you don't know how to behave and speak in a manner where everyone can coexist. You get what I'm saying? It's very unfortunate that we have these problems. And the thing about the Black community is they'll be the first ones to say Black people can't stick together. Black people can't get along. Black people, we need to rise, but we're the very ones with the ignorance of our behaviors that tear each other down. How do you expect me to stick with you if I feel like in the moment of you having a disagreement with me, you're going to turn around and talk about me and mistreat me and take my pictures and my family's pictures and post them on your page to destroy my character or to make fun of me. You get what I'm saying? You're going to take my health and you're going to sit there and tell people that I lied about it. You get what I'm saying? You're going to take my religious beliefs, my beliefs about the almighty or the higher power source, and you're going to take that and have people to taunt me with and mistreat me. You're going to take everything of my life and weaponize it against me. You're going to have an entire community of people to ongoing taunting and taunting and taunting and taunting. I can't even live in my own existence comfortably, but you expect us to stick together. It's really sad. It's unfortunate, but we'll continue to grow. I also have another one. This is the video that I want to show you guys. It's very important that we get this understanding. Okay. And trying to play without me. I don't know why it got so big like that. Okay.
How to identify online hate crime. You can identify online hate crimes in terms of their nature and prevalence. Online hate can travel across the web to a large audience quickly. It is important to know the difference between online hate crimes and cyber.
We'll give it a second and let it load. I guess it needs to take its time. But basically, what everybody needs to understand about a hate crime is basically when you have a biased viewpoint of someone or a community of people, and you sway another community of people to ongoing tactics and taunts towards that community of people. Now, Kevin Wesley and Brother LaTruth and their families, they have platforms of people who have been in the existence throughout this situation along with them, right? Including myself. And I have witnessed, a lot of taunts back and forth and mistreatment back and forth. And a lot of people say, well, they did it too, and they did it too. And see, that's so childish. Because at the end of the day, none of this would have occurred, or most definitely wouldn't have been to this extreme, if two particular people, it's more people than that, but two who had the most accusations, never started those accusations in the first place. And a lot of people, I've even had comments in under my post, some of my videos, and say, well, don't talk about the wife, she wants it to be over and all this and that, and that's great. And I'm not trying to interfere with them co-parenting. But the truth of the matter is, when you place out an accusation and people and you give the highlights or the in so many words the reasoning to send off people to mistreat one another, and people don't have boundaries. And not only that, but I'm starting to feel as if a lot of these people that came into certain situations and scenarios towards this family wasn't necessarily based off of just emotions, but sometimes in some sense purposeful, right? But either way, regardless to my opinion, the fact still remains people were able to say certain things about these people based upon two people who set out certain accusations about them. And even in what we have to understand in the midst of our emotions, we have to see what can happen after. You get what I'm saying? And that is what keeps us in the now and calm. Okay? And a lot of people have not done that necessarily. And a lot of people were able to say, "Oh, you don't believe in God." Or a lot of people say, y'all lied about cancer. A lot of people say, "Oh, Kevin is a part of the Illuminati because he was trying to sacrifice his friend." And when you have these type of accusations placed out, and people are able to use that to build platforms off of speaking on these things, off of having these things ongoing. You get what I'm saying? It becomes problematic. It becomes something that ultimately the original source has to answer to. And it can be silence right now, and that's fine. It can be peace right now, and that's fine. But the crime has already it's already been done. It has already been completed. And so the effects behind this crime is it's through the ones who saw it. It's through the ones who were mainly affected. It's through the ones who were mainly targeted. So if they do decide, and I think they should, regardless to how things turn around, to take legal action because of all of the evidence that all of these so-called smart and brilliant adults who can determine somebody's medical procedures, who can determine anything online, have done, then yeah, I would definitely do everything in my power to make sure that someone faces accountability for this through legal actions. They have a case. They have a huge case. And a lot of people in the comments hyping these people on have no idea how much of a role they played to even feed into this nonsense, to even keep it going, to even attack people who were supporting this family, attacking content creators for speaking in opposition to the initial accusers, right? The ones who accuse them. If I disagree, now I'm being attacked. Isn't that crazy? But the attack was he physically abused me. He doesn't believe in God. He didn't have cancer. So now you got platforms and you got people saying, "Oh, he beats on her. He's a deadbeat father because of what she stated. He didn't have cancer because of what she stated. He all of these things. He doesn't even believe in God, but he's talking about God got him." You get what I'm saying? And then Kevin Wesley. Oh, he has 2 wives and all of this, and he's exploiting his newborn baby, and he touched a child, and he tried to date rape me, and all of these accusations. And other people were able to go on their platforms and make statements to taunt him and make up nicknames and harass him, to go to his page and talk trash to him, go to his family members' pages and talk trash to him. And then all in the comments, you guys hyped all of this ignorance up when everybody could have been the one. A lot of people could have been ones to say, yeah, some of this isn't making sense, and whether it makes sense or not, some of this isn't right to do. but a lot of people didn't have that I guess that mental understanding. So let's see what we have here. See if this video wants to play or not.
Cyberbullying, as they have similar characteristics. Hate crimes will create community-wide unrest when it appears. Here are some ways to identify hate crimes. Number one, language. Look for language that is derogatory or offensive towards a particular group or individual. This can include hate speech, slurs, or other derogatory terms. We can have individuals normally call someone out for all types of things like we see online today. However, when slurs and any race or anything targeting that person's identifiable features that we mentioned earlier as a being.
Well, I mean, how much did we see? We saw them get made fun of for their looks, including their sisters. Dawn actually had went through cancer as well, and she was made fun of because of her looks, her hair, everything in that sort. You get what I'm saying? This entire family has been made fun of through hate speech, slurs, derogatory terms, through making fun of their appearances. Kevin Wesley was called homosexual because of his appearance and him taking pictures. They even tried to use that term towards LaTruth a few times because of body shaming that originally started from his wife about his body parts. You get what I'm saying? All of these things have happened that has taken place. Are we hearing the hate crime now?
Part of an identifiable group. That is what we want to look for when identifying online hate crime. Number two, intention. Consider the intention behind the communication. Is the individual expressing their opinion, or are they trying to intimidate or harass someone? Intent is an important factor in identifying online hate crimes.
Yes, intent is most definitely the way you can identify it, because what you have to understand is having an opinion and saying, I don't think that it's okay that you don't believe in God, or I don't think that it's okay that you don't believe in God the way that I believe in God. That is an opinion, and that is respectful as an adult. But we had most people who say, oh, they're gonna burn. You get what I'm saying? Or some people, or even with the cancer situation, saying, I don't want to believe, this is an opinion, I don't want to believe that you falsified your procedure stating that it was for cancer. And I don't believe necessarily the information that you placed out to prove it. That's an opinion, right? But instead, they got was, oh, that was fake. They was using it for weight loss. You get what I'm saying? They got a whole lot of that. And there's a difference. It's no longer an opinion. It's hate. You get what I'm saying? It's an attack. It's harassment.
Number three, target. Look at who the communication is directed towards. Hate crimes are often targeted towards specific individuals or groups based on their race, ethnicity, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, or other characteristics. Number four, context. Consider the context in which the communication is taking place. Is it part of a larger pattern of harassment or discrimination? Is it being disseminated through social media or other online platforms? It is easy, like I said previously, to mistaken online hate crime and cyberbullying. Number five, impact. Consider the impact that the communication has on the target. Has it caused them harm or distress? Has it put them at risk or physical harm? By being vigilant and aware of the signs of online hate crime, we can work together to create a safer and more inclusive.
Now, they'll say, well, did it put them in physical harm? Well, what I can say is this. Yes. Why? Because people have identified stating that they would have loved ones that would do things to these people. And not only that, but the original accusers, the original parties that came out with accusations towards these men have made threats towards them. I've heard watch your back. I've heard somebody say how they should be more careful and made videos about that, showing evidence of knowing where this person lives, knowing where Kevin Wesley had a newborn baby was born. You get what I'm saying? All of these are threats it's an attack to the physical. Not only that, but let's be realistic, okay? When someone is known to when someone is thought to be or is accused of child molestation or physically abusing a woman, you place a target on these men's back. There's people out here in the world who probably, they don't even know these people, who will come out of nowhere to cause harm on them because they simply believe those accusations that were made about them. That is harmful, and thus you have a hate crime.
Online community for all. It is important to report any incidents of hate speech or online hate crime.
And not only that, but we did witness on somebody else's platform where a lady was basically stating how she would do something to Brother LaTruth. And the wife actually said, hit me in my DM. I know where you can find him. So yes, hate crime, most definitely.
The appropriate authorities or online platform, and to seek support from advocacy organizations or legal resources if necessary.
It is a crime to advocate genocide or incite hatred publicly. It is an offense to support or promote genocide. Genocide is the systemic elimination of a group of people who are of the same race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or any other similar factors. This includes killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, inflicting conditions intended to destroy a group, preventing births within the group, removing children from the group, public incitement of hatred. This occurs when a person makes statements in a public place that incite hatred against an identifiable group that could lead to a breach of the peace, or promotes hatred against an identifiable group. This could include spoken words, recordings, images, signs.
Now, please, somebody tell me, where did I go wrong in this situation? Somebody please inform me, where is it that I went wrong and why I may be looking too hard into this when literally everything that this person on this video has spoken of has happened to these men and their family numerous of times, hundreds of times, thousands of times within the matter of 2 years. And for Kevin Wesley, 6 years. 6 years. All of these things have happened to this family. And nobody sees it as a hate crime yet? I'm the only one? Am I the only one? They most definitely have a case. And if I were them, I would most definitely press charges to the fullest extent to everyone that took place, everyone that I can catch, everyone that I can get, every last body that played a role in this entire situation, from the beginning to the end will have to face charges. And this is why I want to let everyone know, as subscribers and followers and commenters and share and people that share and like things, become more wise about the things that we participate in, that we listen to, that we view. Every view to certain things that can cause an effect, especially to this extent to someone, is extreme. You're thinking for a moment. This is not a moment. This is more than a moment. This is forever for them. Forever. It's very problematic that we have something that we should be able to use to, enjoy and exist and socialize. And we can't control ourselves without having authorities or people in charge of us. We're acting like grown children at large. The level of ignorance. How could you have so much hatred in your heart to where you carry out something that you're not even aware of? You're not even aware that you participated in a hate crime. That is so sad and unfortunate. But see, everyone, and I know that they have a big heart, but it takes, you know what, at this point, no matter whether you just got into it or you've been in it from the beginning, if you participated in attacking these people or taunting these people or egging people on to do these things, you should suffer legal consequences. And I know that they probably can't charge everyone, but there are some main faces out there. Some main faces. And I most definitely would go for the main faces. Because how dare anyone think that it's okay to talk about me touching a child and knowing it's not true, to try to sway people to mistreat me because I don't believe in religious practice like everyone, to convince people that my treatment, my medical treatment, wasn't because of what I said it was. This childish behavior that is going on because people think they're being funny or being cute. Well, I hope with everything in me that they press charges so we can see how cute and funny everybody is behind bars. I don't know how much is left of that video. It's been a while since I looked at it. I guess they just want to ask questions and answer questions or whatever the case may be. But that was my point for today. And I think I'm going to come back. I got some more information to show you guys. And I think I'm going to come back and be more frequent instead of missing about 5 days in a row. I'm going to come back every day as much as possible. If I have to, I won't miss more than 2 days. You get what I'm saying? So that I can continue to get this information out so everybody can know, to become more aware. Because it's a lot of people in this world that have the same treatment that happens to them constantly. But we don't see it in such an extent as this because, they possibly don't have the major platforms, or, their platforms aren't as major. But these things continue on and on in people's lives. And so if you know anybody out there who has similar situations, especially to this one, let them know. Let them understand. Give them some awareness and insight to what they can do to help protect themselves and to help defend themselves as well. As a matter of fact, everybody that was mistreated or mishandled within the saga or within the situation of defending Kevin Wesley, if you have any information of people mistreating you, trying to form an intimidation, or trying to create some sense of shame to demeanor you or to mishandle you because of your opposing thoughts and feelings toward against theirs, keep that information, document that information, log that information. Don't let it go, because if something is necessary in the future and it happens, you definitely have a case as well. Peace to everyone. Love to everyone. Let's spread awareness.